What's up, YouTube? This is Cdog back with another transforming toy review. This is Unique Toys UT-02 Challenger. This is MPM Knight Optimus Prime, basically a third-party version of that. Right off the bat, we'll just show you that the weapons attachment is this peg right here, and you can peg it into the back of the truck right there. So it just pegs in like that. And then it kind of sags, but no problem at all. It holds really well. It's not going to fall off or anything. But we'll just move that out of the way because we're going to show you these more in robot mode. But I just wanted to show you that attachment. It rolls really well. In truck mode, I believe he's 10 inches long. Let's just check. 10 inches long. And I believe he's 4.5 inches high, if I'm not right. Yep, 4.5 inches high. So, but really nice rolling on the truck. That's what it looks like underneath. That's what you want it to look like. You want the hips up there. If they're down here when you're trying to transform it, it won't fit together right. You want the feet like that. And these like this. And you want to make sure that these, the bumper here is tabbed in. And what I mean by that is, when you untab it, hopefully I don't screw up the whole transformation, there's a couple tabs right. You can see the tabs. And then those tabs go into the slots in the back of each side. Yeah, so, and then what you do is you just kind of, I'll show you from this side. You kind of just push the tabs in there like this. And like that. And that secures everything together. It does have opening doors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you from truck to robot and the review today. And the other review I did from robot to truck was about 45 minutes. It was actually about 40 minutes. So I'm going to try to make this a lot shorter. And then I'm going to do an update video with the LEDs. With Peril Kill, which I have, and you can check out that review in my third-party review playlist. But I'll do a comparison with Peril Kill as well as do the transformation from robot into truck mode, which is just as easy. It's just longer. And I don't believe anyone's also done the truck mode to robot as often in the reviews. But checking out the figure, you get a few first release production accessories. So I'm getting the light over here. This is the first one. This is Cade's basically gun he found on the lockdown ship. It's got like a slice in the middle. You can see my skin through it. He held it like this. It also can be held by Optimus, which is what I'll call him, but by Challenger himself, and I'll show you that. It's just by his hands. There's no peg or anything. He also comes with Merlin staff. These are just the extra. These don't come inside the packaging. But this is Merlin staff made of a nice plastic. It's got a little bend to it, but not much. Spray painted in this gunmetal paint. You get all that details here on the handle, as well as on the top of the staff. So that's Merlin's staff, and then this is when it transforms down into a smaller human form. So when Dragonstorm holds it and then gives it to Merlin, this would be the smaller version of it, I do believe. And this is die-cast metal. And there's a lot of die-cast in him. And if you can get, well, what I usually do is use this just to kind of pry it open. But if you can get a little opening there, you can open the doors. And that's really just a feature only for this feature alone. There's no other reason why that door would open. That's what it looks like from that side, but it does close. They do open on both sides. He has chrome plastic visor. He's got translucent plastic, dark plastic for the windshield and the windows. Windshield and windows. You got metal chrome here for the grill. You got a little spot for the Autobot symbol, which I actually meant to do, but I forgot to do in time. Metallic silvers for the vents here. You got translucent clear plastic for the headlights, and then some silver paint for the rest of the bumper. Part of it is metal. You can see the air horns up above. One thing it doesn't have one of those spikes that I believe it has. And I mean, that I guess is this right here, maybe. But that's okay. That's one of the details it had in real life. You can see hinges as well that aren't painted. So it's kind of a bummer, but no big deal. But you can see the nice paint job. It's got blue flames, pinstriped with light blue, and red flames on. See, it's blue on flat red, and then flat red on metallic blue, or dark blue with metallic flake is a better way to put it. Got metallic paint for the bars, as well as the step ladder, the fuel tanks. You can see there's more of that flame detailing all the way through it, looking very fancy. You can see more silver paint down here on this bottom part. All the rims are chromed, and these got rubber tires. There's no Autobot symbols in the center, but the rest of it's pretty accurate. Pinned on wheels, and they roll nicely. That's what the back bumper looks like. You can see the locks. I almost think that they kind of painstakingly took each robot part and saw where the truck parts on the robot went, because these wires are from a truck, and that's right where they come out in the truck, and then those are what they use on the legs. That's really cool. It's got the hitch. The bar looks very accurate compared to a lot of Transformers. It's got flames on the wheel well there. Very nice. You can see this becomes the top of the chest. On the back, it's got the chrome, or the metallic gunmetal, or the gunmetal chrome. Sorry, the gunmetal smokestacks is what I'm trying to say. You can see that little triangle detail, which I believe turns into an Audi triangle on the robot mode in his design as well. So yeah, to transform him, you want to start off by going behind here, kind of like putting like a finger back here, and then you can pop this panel out like that. Same thing on the other side, like that. Then you want to remove those tabs I showed you in the back bumper next. All right. Then you go to the front and you separate the grill. And then it opens up like this. You want to unremove this tab. There's a tab slot up there as well as a tab right there. Swing this back. You want to take this panel right here and swing it to the inside like that. Oh, I forgot to put the lights back on the actual. There we go. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want to slide this up. Put the foot out like that. Rotate this down and swivel it back. And then it will swivel on that one way and go underneath. Then it's on a double hinge. So there's a hinge here that goes inward and back like that. Making sure this is still swiveled up, you now rotate this inward like this, and then we'll just stay like that for now. Same thing on this side. You flip this piece on the inside, just like that. You take the foot, you flip it down, you untab this part, swivel that to the back. Rotate this up on a slider, and when you're going back in, you want to make sure that this part is is flush with that. So you want to make sure that's flush. But anyways, you want to go back up, putting the foot down, rotating this around, and then putting that on the bottom. That becomes this foot, like that. Now we flip this over like this. Next, you want to come in here and you want to remove that peg from that hole right there. Now, when you're going into truck mode, you want to make sure that these hip guards are up here like this. And when you're going in, you also, these come out. And one of the most important things to do, let me get this better off. one of the most important things to do is to make sure that this goes up. What is going on here? Oh, that needs to go up. And so it goes up and over like that. See how they they're like that, and then you pull them up and over so there's no space, and then that pegs together. All right, so that's going into truck mode. Now going back into robot mode. You want to remove that peg like I showed you. Flip these hip guards down. Revert this, go up a little bit. You're going to revert the legs 180 degrees to the front, just like that. That'll flip it around like this. And then you pretty much have your legs almost done. So the next part you want to do is, you go on this side, and then you open up these. Let me get that light out of the way so it doesn't bang into things. Open up these. You're going to use this triple hinge to flip it in. There's a couple slots you can see with the tabs. You want to tab those in just like that. And then on the back of the knee, you use the front part of the wheel, the front wheel fender, and tab it into the back of the knee like that. Repeat on the second side. Open up this. Making sure this is up. Flipping this triple hinge inward. Attaching those tabs together like that, and then attaching that at the back of the knee like that. Now, as long as everything's secure, you have the legs. Next thing you want to do is you want to, and when you're going into truck mode, let me show you something. You want to make, and this is say this is really tight, especially on the first time. You're going to want to break it so it's going towards the front of the truck like that, because there's a tab right there that goes into this die-cast metal slot. And when you just want to remember, if you can't remember which way to pull it, just pull it towards the front like that. All right, we'll get that out of the way for now. But we're going to want to go into, so what I usually do is go underneath and push it up, get a nice good peg. Now you want to revert it 180, and you want to go to the front of the truck. Which, what you're going to do here is you're going to remove these tabs. There's tabs that slot in there like that. Whoa. You're going to want to go on both sides and pull those out. Like that. Then you go through here, untab this. And when you remove that, you also want to untab that. And when you're first going into truck mode, you want to make sure that this tab fits in there. It's going to be a real tight fit. And the way you do that is you really get this luck. I had to Brillo mine. It was a little bit too weird and funny looking. If you look at it, it's all kinds of weird. But it works now. Once you get it once, it goes in. No problem. So you want to flip these to the side like that. All right, now you bring this out, and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bring this forward, bring down his kind of abdomen, chest. There's a die-cast bar right there. That becomes the hitch, but you want to pull this forward so you can get this down in. Then you lift up his head like that. Then you use these on double hinges like this. And the reason you pull this forward is when you're, especially when you're going when you're coming out of robot into truck, you pull this down, you pull this forward, that gives you the room to bring this up through. All right, and then you pull this up like that, and it goes over to the top. We're doing the opposite, so sliding that in, okay, like that. Next, you want to use this on a double hinge. You're gonna want it to be square, so you're gonna have to use your thumb a little bit to square it off like that. And you get it all like that. Same thing on this side. You go and you put that in a double hinge into like that. Then you want to pull down the legs as much as possible to get this to go through, because you want these to swivel in like this on both sides. And it's going to take a few tries. Let me get this to go up. Get the lights out of the way. There we go. And it takes a few tries to get it all to fit together. You're also going to want, before you do that, is you need to pull the shoulder pads down. These parts to come to the top of the truck. Pull those before you, and then you can pull it in. If you do it after, these get in the way. So do it first, unlike what I just did. Go in like that, and like that. And you want, one of the things you want to do, all right, now you're going to want to do the arms. So you get this out of the way, you flip this up, and there's a tab that goes into that slot. That slots in, and then this flips over like that. And I'll show you how this all works in in the second review. Now this one, you do the same thing. You slot that in, you slot that in, and you rotate this down for now. Okay, the trick of this here is when you're going in, let me see if we can get, there we go. Oop, there we go. Is you want to go up and around. So if it's like this, you go up and over in there like this. You want to get it as close as possible, but you also need to leave enough room for this bar to get in the middle. So when you do that, it'll all fit together, but it's kind of not too easy to get. It'll take a few tries usually. Like that. The key is to get it in there as tight as possible. Let's get these out of the way. That'll help. There, like that. And I can open this up more. All right. And then you want this bar to go up in between, which it's not going to work if it's not straight. There we go. You want it like that. All right. Now, this part goes up. There's a little latch that goes up on top of this die-cast latch right there on the head. And then, first things first, you want to take that slot into that peg. That'll lock the chest into place. That slot into that peg. All right. You want to secure that back like this. You're going to take these and you're going to rotate them on a sideways swivel into the inside, so it gives them this back look from the movie. Then you take these, you rotate these down like this. This is how you get it when you first want to. Let's get the light out of the way. That's what you want to do when you get it. Your first step. So we're going to swivel this 180 like that. We're going to open this part up. That's going to let this part, there's like a spring. You want to push this in, rotate this 90 degrees, I guess this way. Would that be inward? No, outward. And then tab that together. But you have to push the spring in and then tab it together. And you pull the hand down, rotate the hand to the front like that. Then you rotate the shoulder pad onto the side. Same thing on this side. You want to rotate it 180 degrees. Turn the shoulder pad to the side. You're going to take this part down. You're going to rotate it outwards 90 degrees and then push in the spring and then connect it. Pulling down the hand, rotating the hand 90 degrees to the front. And then you just need to push up the hips to get them situated. Make sure his feet are underneath like that. The only thing is they don't peg in down here, and I wish they did. But there you go in robot mode. And the reason I did it this way is to save time. Because it would be a 40-minute review otherwise. And this way I can do a couple, like 20 or 25-minute reviews instead. And still get everything done. But there he is in robot mode, and he is fantastic. A robust figure. It has lots of articulation. And I just love the figure, man. Let's check out his head sculpt right off the bat. There's his head, as you can see there. And he does come with a secondary head. That would be this. And that is with the face from this head. But what you can do is get like a screwdriver or something, and you go under here and you just flip up. That pulls that out, and then you can put in his other faces. Oops, sorry about that. I forgot I had it zoomed in. There's this battle mask scarred face, and they each have LED eyes. This one has red LEDs, and there's a button here. You go behind here, unscrew that, and the button batteries. And that's one of the things I'm going to do in the update, because my button batteries are my 3A figures, and I've got to get them out of storage. But you unscrew that, and you put the button batteries in. Then he's also got a screw there. What you do here is you, under there, you can see the screw. So when you're going into truck mode, you can unscrew it. You just thread this through, and then you throw the screw up through the bottom piece and then screw it in. And then you can have the secondary head. He also has, latching that back, he also has a different head. So we'll get this part up. He also has this head, or face, sorry, face. So you get that mouthed with the red scar. Now this face up here, this face right there is blue LEDs, and it has the feature. And if you look on the back, it's got the same deal. So very cool. And it also has the regular the regular face for the figure. So you can basically, you know what I mean? It's just something like that. But anyways, paint wise, it's got flat red plastic here with dark blue, navy blue paint with outlined pinstriped with light blue. On top of metallic silver, you got a little bit of metallic blue paint right here, as well as trim on this metallic silver, almost like a gunmetal silver on for the shoulder pads, which are articulated, to get out of the way for articulation. So that's pretty cool. You got more silver up here. Full thing is silver. You got copper wiring, gold bars, gold locks. Those are the back of the trailer, the bumper. I mean, the back bumper. This whole thing is the back bumper, so that's really cool. Well, it's not this part, but it's that part flips under, and then it's just this part. But these two locks you can see on it. These parts come apart. You can unplug these plugs, but there's gold plugs, and then these are the wires for the back of the truck I was showing you. You got gunmetal details on the skirt pieces here. Very nice. Fully painted. The only parts that aren't painted are the fingers here, the joints in the elbows, the back of the ab crunch joint, and the back of the knees. The rest is fully painted. Oh yeah, and then this piece that flaps down on that. And I bet if it was painted, it wouldn't. I bet it would stick better. So you got silver metallics here. You got this blue, nice blue paint there. Got dark blue on the top of his gauntlets or forearms, with red flame pinstripe flames, and then on the back you have the red with the blue pinstripe flames, and then he's got that same thing on the sides of his hands, which is really cool. You can see die-cast pieces right there on the elbows, as well as in the inside of the shoulder joints. It's even got a piece right here that also goes into the back and then flips out as a long bar that goes up. He's got that trailer hitch piece that goes inside of his. He's got metal ratcheted knees. He's also got a couple other pieces. Very nice paint job. You've got this metallics right there. You can see the silver on top of the knee as well as right here. Then gold bars going down on top of this gunmetal paint for the shin. On the side, you got metallics on the back of his knee. You got gears painted, little details, the springs and little silver details painted on. You can see the flame detailing on each side of the leg. You can see more of that detailing. Very nice paint job. And he's got that red detailing on the backs of his thighs that he has in the movie as well. You can see more die-cast right here and here. He also has die-cast grill, but and then die-cast pieces in the middle there. You can see that bar right there is die-cast as well. Right there. So he has his whole feet die-cast. You got the red flames, or not the red flames, the red detailing on the bottom of the shins as well as on the feet, on top of the metallic silver feet. So great paint job. He's sturdy. He'll hold poses quite well. So what you can do with this big assembly is there's a hole right there, and there's a peg, and you can of course peg his weapons in, so he can hold them as he's just chilling. So that's cool. Or you can use them, and the way you do that is moving that back, this down a little bit. Pull this out. You can open this up. This flips down now. You also get the barrel here. Closing that off like that. You can take this part off. It actually just pegs that tab into that square hole. And you can peg this onto his arm for his shield. I usually have to get this out of the way, but like that. You also can take the tab and slide it into this air hole on the side of his hand right there. So you can have his, I think it's on the other hand, but in the movie, but there's his last night kind of mini sword. And then, you of course, can have him hold his sword. So you just open up that, and there's a couple tabs, and there's a slot. As you can see, the slot right there, and you just tab everything in. Holds nice and securely. And his arm just attached. It's the first time that's ever happened. And there you go. Get him in a nice pose here. So, as you can see. So he can hold his weapons and use them quite well. For articulation, we're going to remove the weapons now. You got, see how sturdy it is on the sword, it's alone. For articulation, we'll start at the head. There. Okay. So he can look way up quite a bit, so that's really nice. Looks right up into the sky. Really nice. You can see his neck there. He can swivel on that. I showed you the swivel where that will get out of the way. Just enough. And you can also look down as well. So nice articulation in the head alone. This will hinge out. It will also swivel on, before it hinges, it also swivels. It goes back and forth a little bit, plus it will swivel on this ball joint, front or back or whatever. But the hinge will come out. That will allow you to go up like that. So nicely done there. If you can use the bicep swivel and get a nice butterfly. This will hinge out like that. So there's a pull-out joint. You get a bicep swivel. That'll go 360 degrees. Nice die cast in the elbow there. You get double jointed elbow. Whoops. And you also get wrist swivel as well as up and down. And the hands rotate on this thumb joint. It also has a hinge at the bottom and a hinge at the top. Then we each have 3 individual joints on each finger. So on all the bottom 3, let's see if we can do this better. See, they will all joint, and then they do it at the base as well. So there's the base, then there's that one, and then there's that one. And then you have so those are all together. And then the finger will do the same thing on the top. So you can get it looking pretty cool. You just got to work with it. Yeah. Like that. See? Anyways, he's got an ab crunch, dedicated ab crunch that will comes out of this pack piece right there. Kind of go about that far. So that's pretty cool. He's got up and down legs, so you can secure them up to make it look nice. Or you can pull them down, and then it will kick right way up. Way up. Nicely done. You can also hold this out, and it will go out to the side. Let's see if we can get that in. Let's focus more. There we go. So you have that. You can also swivel this butt piece out, and that'll give you more room for thigh swivels. See? Get a nice thigh swivel, but it will swivel on its own anyway. But then you can move that piece out to get more. 90-degree bend at the knee. Really strong knee ratchets. Ankle tilts. Toe tilt. Toe hinge, I guess you call it. And nothing else at the feet. Let me show you a pose, and then we'll wrap it up. Just to show you can do two-handed poses with his sword. You just have to use the butterfly joint. You can do it with just using one. But, yeah. So, and then he's got this part right here, so you can adjust how you want it. Make it more forward and flip it upside down if you want. This hinge helps for sword poses. But as you can see, the button just fell off, so I can show you that right now. It's the second time it's done it. But you just kind of wrap it around like that and plug it in like that. Let me know what you think of the review. Leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe for more toy reviews. And as always, stay awesome, stay subbed, and stay tuned for the next video. Peace, that's a wrap, guys. Check this out, though. You can actually just have him hold anything, really. He's got tight enough fingers. Probably better than that. I did it better with the right hand, but yeah. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Peace, guys. Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.